Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Joanie and I am the blogger behind simplelivingmama.com. And in today's video, we are going to talk about how to start homeschooling. Now, I had not planned to do this video right now. I was going to do it a little bit later on, but with the current situation of the entire world, with this global pandemic going on and a lot of parents having to get their kids to do schoolwork from home because schools are closing nationwide, I thought it would be a good time to start talking about homeschooling and how to get started with it right now. Now, I know that a lot of people who are currently homeschooling are probably going to go back to public schools once those reopen, but I'm sure there may be some people who do realize the benefits of homeschooling and may want to stick with it for the long haul, as well as anybody else who decides they want to homeschool for a variety of different reasons. Of course, all of us choose to homeschool for many, many different things. So, this is relevant for all times, really. So I wrote a blog post about it yesterday, and I touched on some commonly asked questions, the basics about how to get started. And that's what I want to do here today in this video as well. I'm going to be referring to the blog post down here. So if you see me looking down, that's why, just so I can stay on track and keep up with everything that I said in that blog post. So let's get started with the very basics. Once you've decided that you want to homeschool for whatever reason that may be, the first thing you need to do is get legal. Now, in a situation where we have a national emergency, that's not a concern because you may just be taking home a packet from your local public school or doing classes online through your local public school. You don't have to worry about it. But when you're ready to actually homeschool, you do have to worry about your local laws. So hslda.org is a great place to begin your research into your state's local laws. Every state is different in what they require. Some require very little of homeschoolers and some require meetings and portfolios and all kinds of stuff. It just depends on where you live. I personally have lived in 2 different states since I've been homeschooling, and both of those states have only required a notice of intent from me. So not something huge. My kids haven't had to do any mandatory testing. I haven't had to submit any work or anything like that. But I have had to at least notify the local school district that I am homeschooling my children. So look up your state's local laws. Start with hslda.org. And then you can also go to your state Department of Education's website and look at the laws there. You can figure out what you need to get and all of that stuff, so you can go ahead and get that submitted during proper deadlines and everything like that. So once you've done that, my next suggestion when we aren't trying to avoid each other is to connect with other homeschoolers. And you can do this online now if you've decided that you want to homeschool. That doesn't necessarily mean that you have to go meet in person anytime soon, but there are tons of homeschool groups, local homeschool groups that you can find online through Facebook, through different websites. There are a lot of just Google it and you'll be able to find different homeschool groups for your state and for your area. I'm sure word of mouth as well can help you find different homeschool groups. Get connected, and you can do park days, you can do library days, you can do book clubs, you can do classes, all kinds of stuff. There's all kinds of things available. The whole entire notion that homeschoolers are unsocialized is a myth. Homeschoolers participate in extracurricular activities. Homeschoolers are in their communities through scouts, through their churches, through all kinds of different activities. And a lot of times homeschoolers are even more involved than children that are in public school, just because that's just how we are. So if you're worried that your child is not going to be able to be socialized because you homeschool, you can push that worry aside because it's not a big deal. Now, of course, you are going to have to put in the effort and decide what you want to do outside of the house and take your children there until they're old enough to take themselves. But overall, there are tons and tons of opportunities for socialization and homeschool groups. So Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is learning styles. And I'm having a little bit of trouble with the internet here, but okay. On my blog, I have a link to a website where you can take a learning style quiz if you don't know your child's learning style. This is going to help you determine what kind of curriculum you want to use, what you want to study with your child. It's really helpful in that sense. It's not something that you have to know and understand immediately, because that will come with time, but it is helpful to know that ahead of time. And then another question that I think a lot of new homeschoolers ask is, do I need to choose a homeschool style? So if you've done any research on homeschooling, you know there's a ton of different styles out there. Classical, Charlotte Mason, Montessori, eclectic, traditional. There's a lot of different things out there. You don't need to choose one right off the bat, especially if you're coming out of a public or a private school situation. You don't need to put yourself in a box and label yourself as a specific homeschool style. A lot of us find that over time, because we have children, multiple children with different learning styles, that we become eclectic homeschoolers, and we pull in resources from various homeschool styles, homeschool methods. So this is definitely not something that you need to know immediately. It is something that you probably want to research and learn about, because a lot of different curriculum is based off of these learning styles. But yeah, it's not something that you have to know right off the bat to start homeschooling today, okay? Definitely not. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about deschooling, especially if you are pulling out of school and homeschooling for the long haul. You want to deschool your child, because you're not going to be able to completely recreate traditional school at home. It's too restrictive, and it's really not possible. Your child may be used to having to sit in a desk for 8 hours a day with scheduled bathroom breaks, specifically scheduled meal times, snack times, stuff like that. Your home is not going to run that way. And I say that because while we're doing school at home, we're also doing other household things. Like, mom is the teacher, and she's the facilitator of lunch and breakfast, and the kids are going to have to pitch in and help with cleanup and stuff. They're going to have to do things they wouldn't normally do at school, but because we're all home together and we're doing it all, we do life and do home stuff together. So you're going to find that you're probably not going to be able to jump right into a routine as soon as you bring your child home from school, like a strict, okay, we're going to do math at 9, we're going to do phonics at 9:30. You're probably going to find that that's just not going to work. So my suggestion is to just take some time, spend some time with your child, do arts, do crafts, do reading together. You don't have to dive right into the books immediately. That can come after a couple of weeks even. So that's something to keep in mind if you're pulling a child out of public school to homeschool for the long haul. Once you're comfortable and confident in a curriculum choice, after you've done some research, you've learned about different learning styles, different homeschool methods and stuff, go ahead and choose your curriculum. For a brand new homeschool mom, I do recommend a box curriculum. I'm just going to be totally honest. This is from my personal experience. I found that I needed the structure of a teacher's manual to tell me different things to do and the way to sort of structure my day. Now, you may or may not know, we do use My Father's World curriculum, and it does that exactly for me. I love that about it. Another thing that I have brought in over time, because I started with My Father's World 100%, and then I found over time that my oldest son especially needed a different approach with his language arts. So then I brought in The Good and the Beautiful, which is another open and go curriculum. And, you know, I don't like to change up curriculum unless I have to. And if I have to, I'm not afraid to do it. So, a question that's commonly asked, how long does it take to start homeschooling? And I'm just going to tell you guys, you can start homeschooling right away. Okay, you've always been your child's first teacher, always. Who taught your child to speak? Who taught your child to walk? Who was there for all of that? It was you, right? So you can start doing this right away. You don't need a ton of supplies. You don't need a ton of curriculum. The library and some books, some arts and crafts supplies. You can start this immediately, okay? Now, like I said, it may take a few weeks to really develop your routine, to figure out how you're gonna structure your day and all of that, but it will come to you and your family, and you guys will fall into a routine that works. Do take your time in selecting the curriculum you wanna use, research reviews, and I say that because curriculum is often a pretty huge expense for families. So I strongly feel that you need to choose curriculum that you are comfortable with before making a big investment. Another question, is it hard to homeschool? This is such a loaded question to me because most of the time it's not hard to homeschool if you're asking me, because it's all I've ever done with my children. Now, I am a product of public schools, so I know how all that goes. But as far as being a mother, we've always homeschooled. So, I think it probably is a big transition if you're coming from a traditional school system, traditional school model, and it will take some time to get used to. As far as being home with your kids all day, it's not always easy. We have a lot of different personalities in our family. We're all comfortable with each other, so we are comfortable to share our true personalities with each other. So there's definitely conflict that goes on throughout the day. I have very young children that I'm still trying to teach not to hit each other and scream, so we have to deal with some of that during the day as well. So no, it's not always easy. It can get frustrating, and I make sure that I have time to myself in the evening. I'm fortunate in that I have told my husband that I have to have that time. As an introverted person, I need quiet time to recharge. So that is something that, especially over the last couple of years, now that my youngest is over 2 and I'm not nursing so much, because there for a while I had a baby all the time, it seems like. So I definitely have to take some time for myself just to recharge, to read something in quiet, that will help me to be ready for the next day. So is it hard? It can be hard. But I think once we realize that we're all willing to work together, when I see the fruit of my labor, when I see a child who is now excelling at reading, who struggled with it to begin with, when I listen to a child's story that they've made up or watched one of their little play productions that they've put together, and I see them grow as people, and I've been there for all of it, it's very rewarding. So, all hard things are worth doing, right? I strongly believe that. Okay, let's talk a little bit about resources to start homeschooling. I will be updating the blog post with even more free resources. There are a lot of online things that I didn't even know about that I'm going to go ahead and add to that post. So you might want to check back a little bit later to see how I've updated it. But as far as resources that I have on there right now, for moms of preschoolers and kindergartners, I personally have a lot of resources on my blog for moms of preschoolers and kindergartners. And I guess that's probably because that's what I have the most experience with teaching right now. So I've written a lot on the topic. I have a free e-course on how to make preschool and kindergarten lesson plans. You will find the link in this blog post. You can click on it, read the blog post about that, and go sign up for that e-course if you want to take it. I have a homeschool preschool planner with a current coupon code that makes it just a little over $6. It's a digital product. It's not just really a planner. It has all kinds of ideas and things inside of it. So there's a coupon code for that, 30% off. I'll have that listed as well. I have supply list, which, like I said, you don't have to have all that to start. It's just stuff to add on later on, fun stuff. I have preschool and kindergarten lesson plans. You can also get those with the discount code. I have an ebook about how to teach the alphabet with 20 plus fun games, I believe. And then I have tons of book lists because we love reading. So that's a really cool thing. For moms who have kids of multiple ages, I have an entire section on my blog dedicated to morning time. Morning time is how I teach all of my children together, and it's probably one of my most favorite ways to teach. It's just a lot of fun for us. We use the Homeschool Garden morning time plans. I talk so much about that here on this YouTube channel. Also, My Father's World curriculum, perfect for families who have children of multiple ages. That's what we use personally. I have a coupon code as well for them to get free ocean cookie cutters. Those are a lot of fun. It also comes with a pamphlet that tells you different ways you can use them educationally. And then, of course, The Good and the Beautiful, which is open and go curriculum that can be used for multiple ages. And then I also have a blog post dedicated strictly to teaching multiple ages. For moms who are looking for online learning, teaching textbooks, that's who we use for math. It's all online. Great way to learn. Takes a lot of stress off of this mom who's not very good at math. So easy peasy all-in-one homeschool is a free online curriculum for all ages. I have not personally used this one. I've looked into it, but a lot of moms use it. There's a dedicated Facebook group for it. So it's been around for a while, and I hear that it's very good. It works for a lot of families. There's also a website called unitstudy.com where you can find a large variety of digital unit studies for all school-age children. I do recommend trying to do a unit study or two when you're just beginning homeschool, because it's a fun way to really get your child engaged. They can choose a topic, something that they're really interested in, and then you can build lesson plans off of that, and unitstudy.com can help you accomplish that if you don't know where to start. Okay, and like I said, I'm going to add some more just like free websites and stuff. I know we've used Starfall in the past, ABC Mouse, which is not free, but there's a lot of other good ones. So I will add that to the blog post. If you have any questions, you can just leave them down in the comments below and I will get back to you as soon as I can. I'm happy to help anybody who is beginning homeschooling. It is definitely a passion of mine, something that the Lord put on my heart way back when my oldest child was 2, and unlike other things that I thought I was passionate about, I have stuck with it for several years. So it's definitely like something that I just love. So don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. We will have more homeschool videos. I'm also planning to get back into doing some homemaking videos because that's another passion of mine. I just haven't had a lot of time to do those homemaking videos. Oh, and something else. I'm going to be speaking in a free How to Homeschool Summit. I think it's going to be free for about a week or so. I will put the information down in the description box, but there are 49 expert speakers speaking in this summit to help moms and dads who are just beginning their homeschool journey. So I'm really, really excited about it. And I think it's going to be a great blessing to the homeschool community. It will be available after the free period for a little bit more, but it's not going to be an expensive thing at all. So it will just be something that is full of information and of great encouragement. So that's all I have for you guys today. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.